Hi, my name's Kiarra.
Hi, I'm Cydney.
Hi, I'm Aakriti, and we're gonna walk you through our Jeopardy project. So I'm gonna share my screen of what the website looks like. So this is what the Jeopardy game looks like, and if you choose a category and a price or a win, prize, you click on it and it opens the question with the category and the prize on the top, and it gives you the question. You guess your answer, and then the timer immediately shows you the answer. Or if you and it obviously shows you the answer, and you press close. But if you click on it again and you say show answer before the timer, then it gives you the options of correct or wrong. And so if you got the answer right, you click on correct, and the score is added to yours. So that's how this game works, and the box also disappears after you have completed the question. So what our what's it called? Our code looks like is over here. We're going to start with I believe render categories. So that is over here. If Kiarra, you want to go for it?
Render categories is a function that has a for loop which loops over each categories in the array. In results, it updates the HTML by adding the categories from the array to the top of the page. An array is the most important data structure to render categories because it's where the categories are being stored. A method is a function that lives in other data types. The jQuery append method is seen in render categories. We access it using dot notation and it lives upon the jQuery object. A method is a set instructions that are associated with an object, and a function is a set of instructions that perform a task. Looping the array of categories to a div of its own was challenging, which is string concat and learning loops.
Okay. Thank you for that, Kiarra. And then click handlers is done by Cydney, if you want to go ahead. So this is the code. Okay, yeah.
Okay. So hello everyone again. So basically click handlers execute code when a specified HTML element is clicked. It also adds a sense of interaction between the user and the product as well. And so the functions that are click handlers in this project are the question on click, the hide question pop-up, and the hide in the get question, sorry. And also the answer on click. And so the parameters for question on click were, sorry, can you scroll a little up so that they can see it, please? Oh yeah, category index in the money value. And so the parameters for question on click were category index and money value. And then the parameters for hide question pop-up were empty because it's just simple click function that just hides the question that just popped up. And yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Cydney.
And so then, yeah. And so like for the functions that call other functions, the question on click calls multiple functions. And then the part of the file that was the most challenging, I guess, would be just like trying to figure out which predefined functions to call for the different directions, and which parameters to include for those functions, because the predefined functions were at the bottom and weren't really noticeable or to look at first. So yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And then the last part is scoring. So scoring gives the user the current score by adding or subtracting points based on whether the question is wrong or right. So there are three functions. So the first one is render scoring buttons, in which it is a higher order function that attaches click handlers that allow the user to signal whether the answer is correct or incorrect. And then it accordingly changes the score by calling the add to score or subtract from score functions. And so as you go on, then the add to score function is a helper function that is called when the correct button is clicked, and it adds the question's allotted points to the current score. And then the subtract from score is another helper function that is called when the incorrect button or the wrong button is clicked, and it subtracts from the current score. And so let's see. And so these all are useful to show your score, but I think what was most challenging was figuring out what parts of HTML were being used, because you do affect the HTML to change what the current score looks like to the user. So that was confusing to figure out if I was like working in the right section or what the IDs and things were to make sure that I know where it's going. And it was also difficult to figure out the scopes for each variable, because some variables here might not affect the other ones. And so that was something to keep in mind. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'm gonna stop sharing. Yeah. And yes, this was our presentation on Jeopardy. Thank you.